Yes, so time to move on. We are now at our fifth position, and our fifth position was actually Lithuania. So yes, Lithuania will be represented by the Roop with the song Discoteque. Um, yeah, if you've not heard it, have a listen now.
Let's discotheque right at my home. Hit this okay to dance alone, dance alone, dance alone, dance alone, dance alone. I got the moves, it's gonna blow.
I have a lot of thoughts about this one actually because when it first came out, I wasn't sure about it, and then I had a couple of listens, and then I loved it, and now I don't like it again. And I think it's because I listened to it so much when it first came out because it was probably the first really big heavy hitter that came out, and now I'm just sick of it, and I don't ever want to hear this song ever again. So with that in mind, I'm not sure how this will do. I definitely think it'll qualify. I don't know how well it'll do in the final. I guess with what I thought, I think when I was iffy on my first listen, maybe that's how viewers will see it and it needs to grow. But I feel like for some people on Twitter, this was just an instant impact and they instantly loved it. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to win Eurovision. I could see it potentially being around third to fifth in the qualifiers and then coming about 12th in the final, which for Lithuania is not a bad result, but it's not really an improvement because I think they've came 12th a few times in recent years. But that's okay. Like, they're qualifying, they're getting on the left-hand side. They can be happy with that. And it's consistent because they're getting on the left-hand side around every 2 Eurovisions, which some countries could only hope and pray for, UK being one of them. So I cannot bash Lithuania for their success at Eurovision because we don't do any better.
I'm in a bad place right now, not mentally. I just live in the UK.
You don't need to remind us, honestly. It's not.
I think when I first heard Discotheque, because I was quite used to the Roop's style at this point, I loved it from the first moment I heard it. And as much as I think there were some other really great songs in Bando Myślnojo this year, this blew everyone out of the water. And it's wonderful seeing just how much Lithuania as a country are behind the Roop. Like, there was a thing going around the other day where they were saying that the Roop should be prioritized for vaccinations for COVID because they're essential workers. And I was like, yes, yes. And the fact that this was like major news, I just thought that was lovely. I'm really into this. It is currently my sixth place. I am, however, very aware of the fact that it's been out for a while now. I've listened to it quite a lot, and I am aware that I could be very close to over listening to it. So I am sort of trying to make an effort to not listen to it for a little bit. And so I can hopefully keep that love there. I think it will possibly do very well because I think the vast majority of people who are seeing it during the semi and also during the final will be seeing it for the first time. And I think it has a very instant impact. It's bright, it's colourful, it's interesting, it's got a cool dance routine. I think it's a fantastic effort from the Roop. It's quirky, it's interesting, but it's also got a lot of heart to it, and I think it's wonderful. I've said already that there are about 25 songs that I would like to have in my top 10, but yeah, they've certainly got a place there, and I think Lithuania have done a fantastic job selecting them, and they've done a great job creating a second piece of art.
Yeah, I think Lithuania is great because they're always one of these countries that you just don't know what you're getting. They're kind of the crazy ones of the Baltics, which is kind of nice. So it means that, it's a little bit more unpredictable, and I always love to know what is going to be coming from Lithuania. And this year, obviously, is no exception. We've had the Roop before last year, and they were such big fan favorites. And then they come back with Discoteque, win the national final by an absolute country mile with 75,000 televotes. I think it was just a no-brainer that they were going to go. I like the song. I think with Discoteque recently now, it's been kind of strange for me because when the song first came out, I listened to it a lot. And then as other songs from national finals or internal selections started to come through, I kind of distanced myself from it. I didn't really listen to it as much. So now whenever it comes on my playlist, I kind of like, oh, that song. I keep forgetting that Discoteque is in this year. And I'm not 100% sure how that's going to affect how Eurofans are going to vote, because obviously we are so accustomed to hearing songs over and over and over again. I definitely do think it's still going to qualify. I think Lithuania is a shoo-in for a top 10 result, which is obviously going to be one of their best placings. Obviously, the best placing is in 2006 with LT United. So maybe, just maybe, they can kind of break that a little bit. I would really love to see that. It's incredibly kooky, but it's done in a really self-aware way. And that's the reason why I love it so much, because it takes itself not too seriously, but not too much of a joke as well, because there's obviously an underlying tone to it. Yeah, I'm going to be very interested to see how they stage it. If it's going to stay somewhat similar to Pabanda Myshnoyo or another staging altogether, I'm going to be very intrigued.